So this Songs of the Rings album was a huge undertaking for all concerned. Taking on the Lord of the Rings in the Songs of the Rings. Can you tell us a little bit about how the idea came to you?
I was reading the Lord of the Rings in bed one day, and normally I didn't read through the poems because I was dying to get to the rest of the story, but this particular day I was reading the poem on which Lady of Light was based, and I started humming this little tune in my head, and I thought, well, that would be really pretty. So I got up and sang it, and I loved it. So that was Lady of Light originally. And after a while I realised I wasn't going to be able to get copyright to record it, so I thought I'll just retell that story. So I retold that story with that music that had come. And then proceeded to see if there was music in the rest of the chants and ballads and poems. And indeed there was, so I did 20. I did actually more than 20. We didn't use them all.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few that got left, wasn't there?
Mm.
So I thoroughly enjoyed recording the album, and the constantly changing cast of musical characters that we had with the instruments, wonderful instruments that came through the door. How did so many quality ethnic instruments come to be on hand?
My partner Robbie Levin has always been an ethnomusicologist and a collector, and myself also. I've always loved unusual instruments, and so we actually have a house full.
Nice.
And so when we needed something, we just take something off the wall.
Nice.
So that's how it was
That's
done.
where they all came from.
That's where they all came from, yeah.
Very off the wall, wasn't it? Yes.
Well,
so in addition to all the interesting musical instruments that came through, there was also the players that were coming through the door to be recorded.
Indeed.
Was there any special moments that you can recall that stick in your mind? Oh.
Well, they were all quite special, but what about you? Well, I think I should ask you that question. Were there any special moments, Tim, that you remember?
Special moments?
Surely.
I would say recording Gordon Joel playing the drums was a fairly special moment. I particularly enjoyed, he had a little, his little music stand with notes that he'd written on the tracks that he'd been given, and he had written down where to slow down and speed up as the timing flowed with the song. Yeah. And he'd be sitting there and he would breathe the songs, and you'd see him take a deep intake and then release with the music. Ah, it was fantastic.
It was perfect in the end, wasn't it?
That one, Mick Ferguson, elderly gentleman that came and played the Northumbrian pipes for us, that would play it note perfect but 2 bars late, so we ended up having to shift it. We just said, oh, we won't worry about trying to get him to play it right, we'll just move it when he's played it. Great.
It was great.
That was lovely, yeah. And recording Robbie.
Yes.
With all the tuning, which is, it's made me very aware of tuning in the studio and the importance of being in tune. Lots of strings. Mm-hmm. Was it more than 12 in any of them?
Did he use the young chin? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
No, there was some things that were played like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's always plenty of strings, but there's Robbie around there, plenty of strings.
Oh, I know. The can't remember which song it was. There was one where we tuned a guitar to hit different harmonics.
Oh, that's right.
So there was all these harmonics being played that you wouldn't normally find.
No, that's right. I forgot about that.
Fantastic.
It was clever.
Good fun. So lastly, why do you think New Zealand and Kiwis have bought into the Lord of the Rings so much? What's the link between New Zealand and Middle Earth?
I think we feel it is our place because of the magic involved, that there still is in the trees and in the landscape and the light and the dark, more dour aspect of our country as well. So I think we actually feel like we are there. To me, the music, certainly my music, comes out of a New Zealand landscape anyway. So, and I can't really speak for Peter Jackson, but I think that the magic in the New Zealand landscape was crucial for his films as well. Yeah,
it's very evident in the films. It's great. So there you go. There's a little bit of the story behind the album Songs of the Rings by Marion here. That's should be on everybody's shelves because it's just wonderful. And I'm not just saying that. It is.
You wouldn't.
Very good.